OK。
So, in Taiwan, there is a very substantial amount of people who feel that nuclear power is bad for Taiwan and bad for the environment in particular. And as an environmentalist who formerly was against nuclear power, what sort of turned you around?
Well, when I was a child, I mean, I'm from a family of pacifists who oppose war, so I always grew up being anti-nuclear. And as a child, I didn't understand that there was a difference between nuclear weapons and nuclear energy. One of my biggest surprises that I learned was that the only way to get rid of nuclear weapons is to use up the plutonium in the warheads in nuclear power plants. So very few people know that in the United States, half of our nuclear electricity for the last 20 years came from old Russian nuclear weapons. So if you want to have peace and you want to reduce the amount of nuclear weapons in the world, you need a lot of nuclear power plants. So that was one of the first things. The second thing was, this is always surprising to people, is that I just learned more about the accidents. I thought that the accidents had a lot more harm than they actually had. And so I read the World Health Organization reports, which people should just read for themselves about Chernobyl. What's so amazing is just you have a terrible accident, a fire, the reactor's on fire, and it's spewing radioactive particles into the atmosphere. Like, you can't have a worse nuclear accident than that. And only 28 firefighters died, plus maybe another 28 after that. So about 50 people or so died from that accident. And then the World Health Organization estimates that over a 100-year period, basically, after Chernobyl, about 4,000 people will die prematurely. They will die from things that are related to it. But we'll never know for sure because the numbers are too low to be able to show up into the data. So I think the power, for me, what really changed my mind was learning that nuclear was the safest way to make electricity. Air pollution kills 7 million people a year. So there's just no question that fossil fuels are much more dangerous. And then the final thing was just that I realized that because solar and wind only generate power 10 to 20% of the time, that's not enough to be able to power your hospitals and your schools and your cities, and that we just needed a lot more reliable forms of electricity. So when I took a second look at nuclear, I couldn't help but change my mind. It was clearly the best for the environment, the best for people, and also the best for peace and national security.
Right. 那 OK 吗？好。
飞鸟。